Okay, so today I'm going to continue into episode 2 of me doing my little black and red deck. And of course, I almost want to call it a gimmick deck like what I do in Hearthstone, but these aren't really gimmick decks. These are more just whatever I feel like making. It doesn't mean it'll be the absolute optimal thing I could build with what I have, but just whatever I find interesting. And I haven't played black or red that much. At the beginning of the series, I said, like, okay, I'll save black for the drafts for whatever reason, because I thought I would like black and green the most. So I would play green exclusively in constructed, and then I said, okay, every time I do a draft, I should do black, which I did do at least a couple times. Red, I would play a little bit like with dragon, Sarkhan type stuff. Blue and white, I pretty much didn't play at all, or I would fit in some blue cards just because I like hexproof, but into like my green deck or something. But those two I just did last expansion, so I suffered through my two least favorite colors. Now I get to enjoy two colors that are sort of more in the middle, right? The one thing that sort of triggers me is the dragon value statting. It's like, oh, how do I get a 5 mana 10/10 equivalent like for green? It's like I literally designed green myself in Dinosaurs because it's a 5 mana 10/10, and what do you have to give up for it? And it's not even like a mythic card or legendary or anything. And it's like, oh, you just pay 5 mana. Yes, it's all green, but usually you're going to commit to one or two colors anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, especially with all the mana generating minions that you have as green, like the Carotid and stuff. The point being that, what do you get for dragons? You get like a 3 mana or like a 5 mana 3/3. Oh, but it has flying. Or oh, but it has some other effect that I don't even fucking want. So there aren't enough well statted dragons. You'll even see like, oh, what about this one that's a 5 mana 5/5? Oh yeah, but it's a legendary mythic, best card in the game kind of caliber, where it shouldn't need to be that just because obviously, you know what I mean? Like, there aren't average good value dragons. You have to go out of your way. Well, you can go out of your way, and there's all these cards that reduce the cost of dragons, so that makes it worth it. But what about with dinosaurs? You don't have to go out of your way for that. You just play them, and they're just good value, period. Like, that's why green is like, it speaks to me in a very direct way. Like, usually I'll have certain things that I like. Like, in Hearthstone, I like warriors, or I like warlocks, or whatever, right? But I've never seen something so direct. Or like in Yu-Gi-Oh, I like Jinzo, Spellcancel, things like that. But in this game, green is like my literal spirit color, spirit animal, whatever you want to call it, right? Like, I just absolutely immediately loved it to the point where, because that's all it is. Like, just give me good raw value, and I don't give a shit about anything else. So this ends in 35 days, and pretty much everything only costs like 1. So this is different than the mastery tree that you usually go through. But whatever, we'll worry about that later. And so what I almost wanted to do is look through a couple things. So I did this is episode 3 of Bloomborough overall. So I did the draft. I won 1 game in the 3, played 3 regardless of record. So I won 1 best of 3. That was fine. It was actually pretty fun, so I almost wouldn't mind doing another one. But it always takes me so long to earn back the gold for whatever reason. Or because I buy like all these shitty, stupid cosmetics and stuff. So what I'll do is I will, yeah, I built the deck. So the first episode I did the draft, and the second episode I built the deck. And of course I did the draft as these 2 colors as well to sort of introduce it. The whole black flame vibe that we're going for. So there's 2 cards that come to mind, or 2 things that come to mind sort of that would be in this universe too, because they steal the lore for everybody else. Is like, what's the most iconic line to do with black flame is when Legolas says, he fell to shadow and flame, speaking about Gandalf in Fellowship of the Ring. He's like, he fell to both shadow and flame, a Balrog of Morgoth. So, and then it's always associated with that meme of Isengard. We're taking the hobbits to Isengard, where Gollum says, what did you say? Every time he says that, he's shocked to hear about a Balrog of Morgoth. But the point is that would tell you that that's something that you would definitely associate with black and red together, which is of course what we're doing here. So, it feels like it would fit, but then I either wasn't able to make it, or it just feels like a shame not to have this in our employ, because it's the perfect opportunity. And even Sauron himself, I saw this comment on YouTube in some Lord of the Rings video that they were even like, they're discussing, oh, how strong would Sauron be at full power, etc., etc. And then it says he lists like the effect of the card in the game. Like, I don't even know it offhand, but he says actually Sauron's true power is he's like a 5 mana 3/3 that has the effect to invoke something, or whatever. Like, whatever his effect is, he used like the key word, right? He's a 5 mana 4/4 with menace. Like, he made some stupid joke like that. Sauron the lidless eye, but that's not even the eye, that's just fucking him. But no, they get his appearance all wrong too in the, why would he be blue of all things? What the fuck? Sacrifice legendary artifact creature Whenever opponent casts a spell, amass orcs. But I mean, it's got to be red and black for it to even make sense. Wait, what is this blue? And of course, I love the Mouth of Sauron. They did a great job with him. See, he looks kind of lame here, but they did a great job with him visually in fucking, even though it was the deleted scene in the movies, just the way he looks, you can only see his mouth, it's so dirty, and just the way he talks is awesome. Sauron's Ransom. This is like the scene that a lot of this stuff doesn't even really happen in the books, or at least they don't kill him like that. He kind of gets scared and runs away. You could do this just for the black sake itself. Sauron the Necromancer, legendary creature, avatar, horror, menace. Whenever Sauron the Necromancer attacks, exile target creature card from your graveyard. It just feels like these two cards should be in there, right? A Balrog. What did I make as far as the mythic? I can't even remember. I made a mythic card. See, some of these dragons are just dog shit value. I just got a mythic wild card, which means I won't get another one for a while. And of course, the biggest sin that this game creates is that it doesn't let you disenchant cards. Not that, again, in a weird subliminal way, like I'm doing with my PvZ Hero series, where I'm not allowed to disenchant stuff or craft. I'm surprised this is even mythic. It doesn't even feel like it deserves to be. It's a blessing in disguise for me, because like you see in Hearthstone, I want to make it one deck, so then I disenchant like my whole collection worth to do it, because you always shrink it by like 75%, because it costs more to craft than it does to disenchant, than you get from disenchanting. But then I keep doing that over and over, so my collection always suffers. Whereas here, my collection is actually probably pretty fucking good, not in terms of building it optimally with all the right cards, but just the sheer number of cards I have is actually pretty amazing, because I couldn't reduce them even if I wanted to. So it's just the net amount that I've gotten since starting the game. And then the same thing is true in PvZ Heroes, that I haven't disenchanted or crafted anything. What the fuck did I craft? I made a mythic last time. All the stuff I had before. It might have been like this one, which I only do for Y. It's a 7 mana 5/5. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent discards a card. That's really it. I mean, I like the ongoing nature of the effect. I guess maybe that's why I did it, because I already had wasted enough of these on the, yeah, see, like 5 mana 5/5. Wow, it has to be mythic just for that. I never get used to all the symbols either. Like, I don't know what expansion everything's from, and it frankly doesn't matter to me, because I always play in timeless or historic. Or yeah, that's the one cool thing I realized last time. Even though I didn't build this deck for that purpose, it happens to be playable in historic, whereas a lot of the stuff I play is usually in timeless, because whatever, I just use random stuff. So I organically built a historic deck, so at least finally I can follow people's advice and say don't play timeless, because you'll get your ass beat. But I get my ass beat in historic anyway. But no, it just happened to fall into place. I wasn't making it with that in mind at all. Shield Dread is a mythic as well. Man, where did I even get some of this stuff? Or I must have gotten it from the draft itself. Yeah, 4 mana 4/4. Like, that's all you want sometimes, because I'm not going for something super advanced like a crazy win condition synergy. Yeah, it would be a shame not to have Sauron slash a Balrog in here, because again, they sort of represent the Black Flame. But I guess I can't, because I don't have the fucking mythic wild card. Like, which one would I get if I wanted? The Lash of the Balrog. As additional cost to cast a spell, destroy target creature. That's not really too impressive. It's a 5 mana 7/7, which I can get around that. I can get behind that. Trample, when a legendary creature dies, put the thing on the bottom of its owner's library. Wait. What does that mean? Like, dies, put it on the bottom. That's a bad thing, though. So then anytime you kill a legendary creature, it'll just go back. I don't want it to go back. 7 mana 7/5. 1 less to cast for each permanent sacrifice this turn. Haste. Can't be blocked except by legendary creatures. When it dies, destroy target artifact or creature opponent controls. I like this just because of the statting. 5 mana 7/7 is not bad. We'll put this on our wish list, basically. I thought there was a way to do that. Actually, you put like a heart on it just so you remember. That's like with the lands or something. Right, so we'll remember that one, but it'll be a while before I can even do that. I forget exactly. It tells you somewhere when you're going to get one next. And then for this, you would also need a mythic. You're just having to pay a premium just for the namesake of him alone. Because yeah, even if I was to do this one, oh, it's only black, so that doesn't feel right. Legendary creature, avatar horror. When the lidless eye enters, why is the picture not of the actual eye? And why is he missing 3 fingers too? Gain control of target creature and opponent controls until end of turn. That's the way to beat somebody who uses a ring. Just cut off their fingers so they can't wear it. But, you know, you could wear it somewhere else. Wear it around your fucking neck or something. When the lidless eye enters, gain control of target creature, opponent controls till end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste till end of turn. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Each opponent loses 2 life. Like, it's not really that interesting, but... yeah, let me see how many I would have to buy to do this. But no, I almost want to do a draft. Just for the sake of, you know, I just enjoy that. So when would it tell me this? 33%, 1 mythic wild card. Opening packs earns you wild cards. Doesn't it tell you like the exact number you would need to do? Like, let me buy 1 just to see something. I actually often don't do this either. 1 mythic pack. Does that mean I get a mythic wild card from it guaranteed? I don't get it. It just has a higher chance probably to give you a mythic, or it'll give you a mythic guaranteed. Oh, it'll be a while, I think, before I fucking do this. Okay, fine, whatever. And then now we get to... or can't you just buy the mythic wild cards outright, which I've never done, but I wouldn't do it with real money, of course, because on top of whatever else, it is a... yeah, see, at least it should let you buy this, even with an absurd amount of currency. I wouldn't even mind. It's a case where you should... whoa, 90,000? What was 90,000? What? Oh, but what is this? Not okay, 90 packs. I was gonna say, but yeah, I wouldn't mind that, but it just doesn't let you do it at all. I just want that for the RP sake of it. It just feels like those should be in here. So we're in historic ranked best of 3. Let's just go ahead and do it. We were doing actually decently last time because I did that, or I discovered somewhere along the line. Let me see what I would have to change to play in historic, and it turned out to be pretty fucking easy. I didn't have to do anything. It was just automatically there. Unless I somehow went to make it and I was in historic. I'm pretty sure I didn't, though. Like, the format that I was building the deck under was automatically historic, so I could only see historic cards, but whatever, I'm fine with that. So this is pretty poor value, as these decks often can be, and then you get fucked over by that. You know, I end up worse off than I would have been in the first place. Invasion's not really what I want. Everything is just so inefficient. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Even black isn't so bad, but it's more about removal and other effects, and I like some of those. Oh, that's beautiful. Simple, but elegant. Yeah, see, now I'll have to go up to 3 mana just to do this shit. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other notable examples in fiction of Black Flame. Like, you have that with, like, a Dark Mage in Dark Souls, right? Where you have, like, some... or like, whatever, a Pyromancer gets, like, Black Flame spells from... I forget. There's, like, some special way you get them. Yeah, see, like, I love this card because it just cucks their ability to play anything. Even to the extent that you're able to... you know, and you can try to abuse flying. Like, if they don't have an answer for flying, like I never do as green, I just fucking die. But, you know, oh, whenever they cast a spell. Oh, so you mean like in normal games, like a spell? Oh, no, I just mean like a fucking anything. A minion is a spell. Everything is a spell. You go ahead. You keep hitting with this. That's perfectly fine. I don't care about that. Yeah, like, oh, look, this gives you a treasure, so you can pay extra mana for a poorly statted dragon that's just not even worth it. Like, I swear, I looked through every single dragon in the game, and I crafted a couple of them that are at least mythic or something, and they're all such bad value. But, like, I guess this guy's not even mythic, but you should be able to do it here, then. Right, like, as if I should have to do that just to summon something of moderate value over here. And even the Sarkhans can be pretty good, but I often have a hard time protecting them. Create a 4/4 with flying, not bad. Planeswalker becomes a 4/4 against flying. Yeah, as I suspected, green is going to have a weakness for, whatever, for the fucking flying. They sometimes have removal cards for it, but they don't really have too many flying minions themselves. That's fine. I don't need this stupid bug anyway. Wait, why can't... Oh, because the color doesn't match. This is why I sometimes don't like hybrid shit. They are getting a little bit low, though. Sacrifice one or more treasures for what? Target creatures gain double strike. Oh, shit. That could actually be pretty worth it. You're almost fucking dead. I like how they take turns. It doesn't just do double strike in a row. It'll do it, then the double strike phase enters afterwards. So what, if they both had it, you would do 1, 1, then 1, 1. Like, you'll keep alternating back and forth. I want to see that, like, with 50 different minions. And the World Tree gives me some sort of PTSD because it's not this card, but the one where you summon, like, every god card in your deck, and they fill up their board so much that you can't even see what's... Like, the cards keep shrinking down to try to fit them. And he has, like, 100 gods in his fucking deck. I'm surprised I haven't seen an interaction like that since, but you should pretty much die regardless of anything else unless you heal. I don't even really give much of a shit about this. Just go phase with the thing. With the fly. So you just lose the flying because you're a fucker. Right, how dare you use green against me? And some people would question, like, how do I keep, even in my YouTube thumbnail, how do I keep calling this the green challenge? Right, like my first playthrough of Magic and it's green challenge written at the bottom. But the point of the playthrough is to collect every green card in the game. Even if I'm getting meandered and distracted and doing other stuff, that is still the core point behind it. Yeah, see, like this one, you have to give up just to get mana. Like, it is so disgusting. I don't even dislike what red is about. I like flying, I like dragons to some extent. Or, I mean, I hate flying, like I always say, but it can be effective in a way that I don't mind trolling people with it. But it's one of those things, like, if they just don't have an answer for it, you're just fucked. Yeah, see, this is the kind of statting we're looking for. I don't even mind discarding the card. Like, that is exactly what we want. I should have, like, 4 of these in there, but when I do these, I tend to not like to, have multiple copies of the same card. I'd rather have, you know, one of each, even if they're not as good or whatever, just for the sake of variety. I would always do that with a hexproof one, like, oh, why do you have that one turtle that's worse than something else? But I just want to have it in there, just so we can say we have one of each, and it seems weird, but whatever, just for the novelty of it. I'm always the guy who gives, like, little screen time or value or appreciation to stuff that you would never see normally, right? I'll use that one card that nobody ever uses that might be fun or interesting, even if it's not that good, just to give it a little bit of screen time and revive the Shire. No, we got to burn it down like Saruman in the actual books that they fuck up in the movies because they kill him on the Tower of Orthanc, when really he survives till the end of the story after Sauron, because Peter Jackson thinks, oh, haha, it's anticlimactic. But after Sauron dies, it's a way to show that the hobbits have grown so much and they kind of deal with the Shire being burnt as they come back home. This guards 2 cards. That's kind of a little overkill, don't you think? No, especially with that. Although I might have to do that no matter what. Let's just do this so we don't... Oh, fuck off. Yeah, 3 mana, 7/6. Now we're talking actual proper value. That's worthy of being a dinosaur, which it is. I mean, you know, it just always comes back to dinosaurs. Oh, you're healing a little bit, but you're not doing a whole lot with respect to... Like, this thing I'm just never going to get to play in my whole fucking life. Even with the Convoke thing, I'm not a big fan of it. Look at that, dude. Look at that disgusting fucking shit value, man. I hate that. Like, why does everything except for green have to be like that, man? That was happening with the white and the blue, too. Like, you need some sort of cycling and crazy shit that guarantees you get, like, 1,000,000 lands or whatever. Card draw and stuff, which this guy really seems to lack, but they're already sort of burnt out of their hand. Go ahead, block that shit. Discard a card. What do I really care about here? I would like to keep some of these that are actually going to be... Okay, dude. Okay, fuck off. That's so fucking dumb. At least we kill 2 of those. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't happen that way, where one of them survives, even when the statting would make sense that it should. That it shouldn't, but I don't know. Okay, nice game, dude. Nice game. 10 out of 10. This is why the land system is just dumb. I know you can work around it with like metagaming optimal fucking built decks, but it's just stupid. Like, especially when you have these multicolor things, it shouldn't be this much of a cock block. Again, part of that just has to do with some of these being such shit value that... No, but I guess this one I only got 2 mana anyway. I mean, really, I got completely cucked the whole fucking game. So it's a 1-to-1 match when I won that first one pretty solidly. So that was just a completely... That was happening a lot with the blue and white deck, where I just... Again, it's not even that, oh, my cards aren't good or something, which they weren't. Or like, my deck isn't good. Is that I just wasn't even able to play anything. Like, at least let me lose in style and lose my way or whatever. But... Okay, that's fine. You at least get a little value from that. As if haste is really necessary on that, of all the effects. I'd rather it cost 1, but just not have haste. Like, fuck it. This is a very red-heavy hand, but we have pretty much an equal number, if not an exactly equal number, of red and black cards in here, and red and black land, so everything should be cut down right down the middle. Oh, finally you have an answer for flying. This thing you have that's pretty good. I can't attack that anymore. What is all this? Okay, I could do... I'd be very happy to do this, actually. Fuck it. Just keep spamming this from the beginning of the game and it's going to piss you off. Right, whether you give something... I love cards like this that sort of just are cuck job type of things. You can't do anything, you just have to fucking give stuff up. But the whole hilarity of that is it probably wouldn't matter if you just lost 3 life. But you can keep untapping it if you run out of plays you can actually do, which I don't like, but... Why does this even have reach? It's a fucking squirrel. Oh, because it'll go like up top of in a tree or something. Okay, you can't really do anything with that either. I'll just keep spamming this. But no, like a card like that orb of something. Orb of burden or something that we saw in Magic Online. Where it's like every spell costs 1 more for your opponent. I just love stuff like that. It just makes it harder for them to do what they're trying to do. You would think, oh, I'd like blue for that reason, but I don't like countering stuff or removing stuff as much as just preventing them from doing it, I guess, in the first place. Oh, don't do heals, though. That's one of my big weaknesses, because if the game drags on really too long, that can be annoying. So we need a certain amount of land here, and that is going to be annoying. Second game in a row where that's become an issue. Again, whether you lose the life or not, I don't care. You probably should just be willing to do that, though. I'm surprised that you're doing that. I don't care, because now, even if you do this, you'll be able to... I don't care about that. Even if you sacrifice it, I can start hitting you with the other whelp then, I guess. And again, as long as you keep that around, that effect is being very valuable. Yes, of course, just let the fearsome whelp sit there for 10 turns to make your cards actually playable, rather than actually having them be good cost in the first place. Like, that's such a stupid way to defend dragons. Like, oh, but dragons have all these effects that try to make them more, you know, that make them cost less. But why should I need to go out of my way to do that? Now we're getting really in the cuck job territory where you just can't do shit. Fun and interactive game, by the way, but I do like what these sort of represent. Now, when you have all these useless tokens, you decide not to do it. So, finally, we can play some shit, I guess, but I'm still not getting the land that we need. Like, we have to live off the treasure tokens and stuff. Lose 5 life, discard a card. Now, if you... 1-1, okay. I'm fine with that. I still need stuff that I can play, though, because this isn't going to be enough for me here. Or wait, oh shit, maybe I should have done that. But I wouldn't have been able to protect it anyway. Now you won't even have anything to discard, so you'll have to take the 5 life. And I can hit your dumbass with the thing. With this every turn, which is not very consequential, but... Yeah, and I'd love to see what you can do. Are you willing to literally just pay 5 life? Unless they discard a card, which now you no longer have the option to even do that. So their deck is clearly not very good because it sort of... fuck, do it again then, do it again. You gain 3 life, but then if you play that, you'll also lose 5 life again. So is it really worth it? You lose 10 life to play a stupid rabbit. So I could untap it as well and do it again, which is kind of cute. I like the phase in the game that they're at. Deal 3 damage to target creature. Deal 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. Deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature your opponent controls. This is create a Shivan dragon. The problem is I'm not really going to be able to protect these super well, but no, I like the value that that gives you because I'm so starved for cards anyway. I forgot to attack with the thing. I should win this, but let's see what happens. So in order to play a single card, they'll have to discard a card. This guy's deck is like one of mine, where you don't have any removal, you don't have any way of dealing with anything. You're just kind of cucked and fucked all the time. I'd be willing to do that. And the reason why is because now I can keep summoning the Shivan dragons every turn, kind of. So that was like their last really strong play that they had. You can do this again. You can do that. Do this. Now we're finally getting, like, look at this actual win condition situation we're in now. Now it should be impossible for me to lose because, I don't know, I guess the pace of Historic is a lot easier to deal with than what we've been doing. Right, in Timeless it does get a little over the top, but then again, we've seen some pretty insane decks in Historic. This guy's just not using one. They should be able to be just as good as what you can do in Standard, so why couldn't we see like a Legend, Mythic Caliber Standard deck in, see, like, my deck isn't good, but it's still fun and satisfying to play, so there's something to that, right? I'm not really playing for a win condition, but I have some of these fun mechanics in there. But no, I think I've very rarely actually gotten the Planeswalkers to be effective because I so rarely protect them. I don't really have like a permanent gauntlet to go through with like 2 different decks where I'm competing them against each other. I'll do that later when I like split this deck into 2, or whether it's even this deck or I just make, you know, one that isn't a hybrid. Then I'll make just a red only and a black only and try to see how those do. Once you achieve a rank badge, you can't lose it till the season ends. But no, what kind of triggers me too is how they start these expansions in the middle of the fucking month. Why not do it at the beginning? It just feels so much more natural. Bird folk of Valley make their homes in the sky, helping to connect all the other animal folk by transporting mail, aid, and sometimes other animals. We have a fucking bird giving us mail. What is this, like Paracarry from Paper Mario or some shit? I guess that's a common theme in fiction anyway, but like, why didn't the eagles just fly the ring to Mordor? Right, that you would put so much trust in a hobbit, but not an eagle, who is at least much more powerful. But maybe that's the concern why, that they would steal it for themselves and be corrupted by it too. Like, I always said, like, why not just give the ring to Sam at the end when you're in Mount Doom and just let him throw it in, because he wouldn't be as corrupted by it at that point, right? Because he hadn't been around it for as long. I'm taking a chance by doing this, but man, I gotta relook at this deck. Apparently, this is like the worst curve thing ever, because there's like no cards that are between like 1 and 3 cost in the whole fucking game, I guess. Like, I'm not asking for something like super efficient or super good. I'm just asking for anything I can play at all. Now I'll need 2 black, so that makes this a little bit annoying, but 3 mana 5/5 is a small price to pay, and I don't mind even discarding a card. This looks like a card in Yu-Gi-Oh! That like Bakura would use or something. You have a bunch of shit that's gonna require black, even though I always was saying, oh, I don't, wait, why? Oh, of course. Now you have the thing that would reduce the cost of dragons, but I don't have any fucking dragons. But it's still a net positive. I don't mind having more land, but a lot of this requires like 2 black. I never really play her in the other way. Menace 4/5. Whenever opponent sacrifices non-creature, blah blah blah, you may put a card from the graveyard. Wait. Or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from the graveyard on the battle under your control. That's fine, but it seems like it would take a little bit more work. This is fine as well. So all we need is some stuff I can actually play now, and we're gonna need multiple black, which is annoying. Like what are the chances the sequence happens? You have an equal amount of black and red, but you only get red. And then you don't get anything that you can play with red either, because you... I don't get it. Or yeah, that was one of my funny titles for this when I was doing Sarkhan originally, like playing red basically for the first time, which was how long can the Sarkhan deck drag on, like dragon, is how I wrote it, but you know, drag on. We're really dragging this deck on. Double strike for 4. It gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Wow. Am I missing something, or is this just the shittiest effect in the history of gaming? 4 between the two colors. You get +1/+1 till the end of turn. What the fuck is that effect? That's basically what it costs to summon it. Even if it was permanent, it still wouldn't be that good. Even if it was +2/+2 permanent, it's still not that good. Yeah, I've never been the biggest fan of hybrid stuff. I like to sort of just commit to one color if I'm going to do it, but it almost feels like green and black would have been a better thing to do at some point, because those might be my 2 favorite colors. I won't even really say that though, because even though I like certain things about black, I don't know, I don't like how removal heavy it is and stuff like that too, and it struggles with the values at times too. So we're getting cucked really hard by the simple fact of being able to not get anything I can play, even though I have 4 lands. So again, people would just say, oh, just use something meta, just cycle, just do this, just do that. But in a basic sense, like let me look at my deck after this best of 3, because I'm not understanding what's happening in these games. Either everything is too high cost, or you know, I don't have enough land, which I think I definitely have enough land. I have at least 20 probably, 10 of each color, and then obviously at least some low cost cards. Okay, you're just gonna AFK out. She's just stunned by the value of this that she doesn't even want to fucking play the game anymore. Like, embarrassed for having that in their deck. Yeah, that effect would be so good, and any dragon would be playable now, but I'm just not gonna get any. This is where you get cucked and fucked over, but like I said, you only really need 1 or 2 of each land color, and then it doesn't matter. It just, right, that's where it's kind of deceptive. Like, oh no, I have to have black, but you typically only need 1, or again, at most probably 2 with anything in here. There's very rarely cards like the Gigantosaurus where, oh, you're gonna have fucking 5 of the same color, but then it's worth it. Because for me, that's almost comical. It's like, oh no, I have to have 5 green land. Meanwhile, I only have green land in my deck, so it doesn't fucking matter. That's all I wanted to do anyway. Like, I was hard committing to it in the first place. Okay, this is really fun and interactive, but I mean, I'll get an easy win, so it's fine with me. But no, I kind of gave up on trying to play Magic Online. I kept saying I would try to fit it in these sessions if I like win a best of 3 or whatever. Now, when they do this, you sometimes win the whole best of 3, right? Just because they're wasting your time instead of going into the next game. Yeah, clearly my deck was so overwhelming and meta and try hard that they would feel overwhelmed. No, that is a really fun way to look at like how we did the draft. I really enjoyed that despite not doing very well. Is that you go in completely blind, which I've really done in all of them. I don't even know what the cards are. I don't know what the expansion is. I don't know anything about it. And so you're just going in totally fresh and totally blind and just going in with a theme of what color you want to use and stuff like that. What colors I want to use. So even though people might say, oh, haha, look how bad you are, the reality is that nobody's going in blind like that. You already know all the cards going in. You've done a review. You probably read through them, looked through them, looked up guides, metagame, fucking add-ons, watching other people, strategizing the whole thing, you know. So you're going to already know kind of what you're doing going into it. Nobody does those things truly blind. And even then, it was like a week into the expansion that I did it, because I always... You know, like, it's always Tuesday that the expansion actually comes out, and it's always Monday that I do it, so it's always the furthest day away possible that I do it. Because if it was Tuesday, then I would do it the first day, and anywhere else, you know. I don't know who this guy is that we always see. He must be some professional Magic player. Okay, that's not important to me at all. So this is okay. Souls of the Lost. A lot of stuff with black here. I'm just trying to discard stuff. Make them discard stuff. That's fine with me. I'm not even sure I like that one because it makes you do it too. Yeah, at least Historic seems a little more Pastafarian. I almost seem to remember this guy's name. Or maybe I've seen it in some other context. Instead of Rastafarian, like little Jacob from fucking GTA 4. Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll do one of each land color. So yeah, at least here we have a good variety of stuff. So we should be able to play pretty much anything I want. So additional cost to cast a spell, discard or sacrifice a permanent. Its power is equal to the number of permanent cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that +1. So as much as I would like to do that, now is just not the time. So I'm already getting cucked a little bit. Yeah, I think my whole thing was to do a discard. Every card has to say discard for black, whether it be for me or for them. And then every red card is just a dragon, or it mentions a dragon. Yeah, I think that actually was the criteria. Like, this is haste when it attacks. Look at the top 6 cards, reveal a dragon, put them in your hand, put the rest of them on the library in random order. I'll just do it for the sake of it, or you won't let me. I created 2/2 bird with flying, which is still good because you might not be able to deal with flying. We have a blue and oh fuck! I eat my word immediately. You can't deal with flying. It doesn't matter. Like, you may as well just do it. Or wait, oh no, fuck! I forgot about that aspect of it. Right, this is a mythic card apparently, so. Decayed, can't block when attacked, sacrifice at the end of combat. Yeah, I forgot about that. Champion of the Perished. I mean, they're kind of burning through their hand a lot. But, I mean, even that I could block with no concern. That one I don't really want to block. Because I won't lose anything by doing that. It's just... yeah, sacrifice it even though it's already dead. Okay, if we can just deal with their board, everything will be fine. What you have here is, what does this even do again? I forget. But yeah, which one did I just make? I think I already had this one. I didn't craft it last time. Whenever creatures will combat image to one of your opponent's controller may pay 1 life. If they do, they draw a card. Like, why would I want them to do that, though? So I'm going to let them draw a card when they're in top deck mode just because I'm a clown. Like, that's a negative effect for me. That thing's not really good enough. I should probably just play defensively for now anyway because I have too much shit on the board, even though it's not very good. Zombies you control have flying. Visionary Stitcher. That is such a random effect. I've never seen that card, I don't think, before. Sacrifice another non-token, create an XX blue zombie token where X is sacrifice creature's toughness. I'm in an okay spot, but if they have any kind of removal, I'm in trouble. And blocking the Death Touch could be a little tricky, so I might leave that one alone for now. This is whenever a non-token zombie creature controls enters, create a... See, like, this is what's fun. Like, whatever this guy is using may not be the best deck, but it's at least interesting and different than what we've seen. Right, we've seen zombie-type stuff, but we haven't seen exactly this with the flying emphasis and the blue... This is why Historic and Timeless can be fun. Maybe nobody would be using this in Standard, but you can just use whatever you want here, and it doesn't always have to be for optimal purposes. Yes, you're still trying to win, but that's what people sometimes fail to understand. You're always trying to win, but you're not trying to win from the outset, like going into the game. You're trying to win with the other thing, like when you build the deck, you're not trying to build the best thing, but when you play the game with the deck, then you're trying to play the best. So it's like two different things, right? If you're choosing to use a certain deck, you can't criticize that because it's like, oh, haha, doesn't he know it's not the best deck? But it doesn't matter. That's just what you want to do at that particular time. Right? People in card games have that tendency, or in a lot of things like MMOs and stuff. You know, oh, there's just a right way and a wrong way to do it, but it's not a zero-sum process. That's the whole point of a game, is like, you can do whatever you want. And it's more about the experience than the outcome. So people get very cynical and egotistical. Bro, how the fuck long do you want to take? You're roping with 0 cards in your hand. Like, there's nothing to think about. I almost want to save that for last if I get to basically I don't even want to do anything. Like, I'm fine with the board that I have. The only thing he can hit me with is the Death Touch for now, which I maybe even am willing to trade in. But yeah, this game kind of has that same vibe as chess, though, at times. Like, a contest between masters is decided instantly. The idea that you'll have all these things locked in combat that aren't actually doing anything, right? They're already in formation, but because you can't attack the minions, you wait like a super long time and build up a board, and then you finally do it at the opportune moment. Yeah, this guy's totally not a bot that he takes that long to play a fucking land. But you have the ability to basically say, no, that's going to die anyway, so we may as well... But no, I can still block it. That's the whole point. He's getting a little antsy and impatient. But no, like, you're setting up your pawn structure, and the pawns are locked in combat, but they're not actually trading or attacking until the opportune moment. It's the same thing here. Like, we'll both summon a bunch of minions, but we can never attack into one another, so we'll never actually fight. We'll just kind of sit there and wait to block when the other one decides to attack. So it's kind of like you're setting up the formation before. So I'm not the biggest fan of that mechanic, but I do kind of understand kind of why they do it, but maybe not. I mean, that is unconventional, not being able to attack your opponent's minions. Most games are actually the opposite, where they force you to, like Pokemon. That's the whole point of the game. There is no attacking phase in Pokemon. You can only attack the minions. Then in Yu-Gi-Oh, you have to attack the minions to get through to the opponent at all, right? Like, everything has taunt. So as long as there's a minion out there for them, you can't hit their face at all, unless you have some exact specific effect. And then in this, or in Hearthstone, you have the option between either one. You can either hit their face or the minion if you want. And then this game takes it to the opposite extreme, where you can only hit their face. So, you know, hunters in WoW, or hunters in Hearthstone would really love this. Just face is the place. You don't even have to think about anything else. I mean, this I can block till the end of time. That's no problem. So we'll end up discarding this, which is maybe not the best thing. Or I can just play it like right now. But yeah, what if I played it? Discard a card or sacrifice a permanent, but I don't really want to do that. You would be able to trade into that still. So I'm going to sit here basically till the guy mills out and try to win like that, because we're not able to do anything. And this guy is annoyingly fucking slow. Holy shit. His eyes look like he's high or derpy or some shit. Even if this is a pro player, he needs to complain about the way they portray him in this game. I don't really want to do that. It's not really that good. I mean, that'd be more like a late game type of card. Bro is roping on every move. Is hourglassing on every fucking move. No, I'm pretty sure I'm undefeated. Well, I mean, I lost a game in the best of 3, but I won all the ones that we played so far. And this one doesn't seem like it's too bad, but when it goes on this long, sometimes it can be not to my advantage, because they're going to have some crazy win condition and I'm not. You know, they're going to have some infinite loop type shit with this. The 5/5 is going to be annoying to deal with for sure. This thing doesn't even matter. Right, like, why not attack with that? Because there's nothing I could do about it. Create a 2/2, give a buff again. Fuck me. Discard a card, don't even have an interactive option with that. I mean, it's good when you're in top deck mode, because now I'll just play everything right away. So I won't even have to discard anything at all. So I pretty much lose again just because it's gone on for way too long. There's nothing I can do about these. Non-token zombie you control enters. Enters where? Enters the battlefield. Like, some of these card texts are written weirdly. Anywhere else it would say enters the battlefield. Or like some of them are dumb with how they say like your opponents. Like, how does that make sense? This is actually worth it, because I'm so worried about that. Whenever your opponent, right, like deal 1 damage to each of your opponents, there's only one opponent because it's a 1v1 fucking game. Create 3 tokens until the end of your next turn. That might be worth it. Now, these wouldn't even count as a discard effect, right? It just means you can play it, but it's not technically in your hand. I mean, I had a very good chance to win this game, but we ran into this issue where I just couldn't do anything, basically. I was just kind of sitting on my hands the whole time. So this is good. But I mean, if I don't play it, then I'll be fucked, because flying first strike. Flying is very important here, and I never thought it would be for the sake, because you have the ability to have these stupid ass flying zombies, and I can never get rid of that apparently. Like, why don't we just do it? Let's just go for it. Fuck it. What are you gonna do? If you want to trade in, go ahead and do it. I'm discarding too many cards as it is. I don't think you'll discard this. I'll be able to still play it next turn. Oh, that is a surprising play. Enters, each opponent discards a card for each opponent who can't gain 4 life. Its controller may pay 1 life. Or maybe I should have done that, but then I would have had to discard it anyway. So I do have some blocking potential, but I don't like the pace of how this game is going. Like, this is the problem. They have these minions on the board, right? And there's nothing I can ever do about them. I just have to sit here and fucking deal with it. I need an AoE. I need, like, some kind of fucking burn down the house thing. Right, with those little imps. I always love the picture on that one. I'm actually surprised at the lack of AoE in this game, or you rarely see it anyway. Exile 2 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. If you exile a land card this way, create a 3/1 something. Very verbose effect. If you exile a land card, create a 3/1. Exile a non-land card, create a treasure token. So if you have 6 or more lands, this will actually come into play. You need some kind of play here that'll just like break through and let you actually do something, which is easier said than done. Enters, choose target opponent if they lost life this turn. But I should basically be able to do all of them. Or can I like play? Fucking. I mean, the game where everything is a spell, even. Okay, I should try to make a point to try to hit you in the face. No, but you'll forget it. Because it's like everything is just like inefficient right now, but I guess you can keep doing this. You make a 5/5 every turn with flying, that's all you have to do. It's just too easy to get rid of this stuff, but in this situation it might be good. We're having a lot of these games get down to top deck mode, which just means the decks that everybody's using are not. Oh my fuck. How can you have this many of them? I don't get what's happening. I guess just because you keep making copies of them, so it seems like it. Nothing I can do. I'm like that guy in the bodega when he's getting robbed and the other guy keeps saying there's nothing you can do, nothing you can do, and then he hits the fucking guy with a bat. Almost seems like they were in on it together. Like, why would a guy come in there just to say nothing you can do, nothing you can do? Like he's taking pleasure in it somehow. So I can block this, but I don't want to block it. And the reason why that doesn't work when you're blocking stuff, does it? Deals combat damage to 4 creatures without first strike. Does not apply when they fight. I guess I'll try it, but I don't know. I'm obviously gonna lose now just because you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like when it goes on for this fucking long. I think it does work when they still when they block. I don't remember even making this either. I must have gotten it in a draft. I never used to like doing the 10k drafts, but I guess for the sake of keeping all this shit, let me try it anyway. I could be extra sure and do that, but you should get the first strike damage. Yes, you will. Okay, that makes it pretty worth it then. I can't complain. What? Oh, it just means it. Okay, I still don't know how fucking first strike works because I so rarely use it. You get the first strike damage off, but it doesn't. It's not like you get to attack again. I mean, you may have a chance just based on that alone, but I don't even know what that did. But whatever. I think we lose this one for sure. Exile top X cards of target opponent library. You may play lands. So what? I just exiled 0? Like how? Why did it even let me do that then? You may play lands and... This guy is so fucking annoyingly slow, dude. I don't even care about whether I win or not. Okay, fine. Bro. But no, we've rarely ever seen this effect pay off. In fact, that might be the first time it's ever survived long enough for actually us to see that. It is a fun, nice effect, but it's just, it would be better if this was like an enchantment or something. The fact that it's a 1/1 minion is kind of dumb. Or yeah, I did waste a mythic wild card on that too. Or yeah, I'm being annoying and making it take an hour when I know the outcome anyway. So I could still beat this guy, but I don't know. The pace of that one seemed like it would have favored me. Like I had some good board presence, but it just, I never get anything decisive, or I'm not able to, I don't know. I wasn't able to deal with his board at all. And this guy's kind of a clown card. I don't even like him. Some of this is just in here just for the sake of being in here. Like, I wouldn't even claim that it's that good. It's just... So whenever a creature deals common damage to one of your opponents, its controller may pay 1. If they do, they draw a card. Okay, I misunderstood that. For some reason, I thought they could pay 1 life and draw a card. The way they phrase some of the stuff is weird. Discard X cards, exile X cards. So let me guess, I'm going to get cucked on land now for the rest of my life and just not be able to play anything. The reason why you don't like land maybe inherently, but also why you don't like the hybrid shit. If you don't get cucked on one color, you'll get cucked on the other. Like, I'm totally at the mercy of that. That's the problem. Reveals their hand, choose a creature, enchantment, planeswalker. They discard it. They sacrifice an enchantment. Yeah, imagine losing to somebody like in that Bloomborough draft where I fucking, I don't even know like what I'm doing. I don't even know what the cards are or anything. Whenever headless non-token thing dies, create a 2/2. Okay. That is a pretty sick card art. Why has he got so many heads? Okay, we can keep doing that, although I don't have any other dragons to really deal with. Yeah, let's just try to win on the raw flying value alone, but now you're going to give all your fucking zombies flying. Or yeah, that's a funny joke my friend made, like, the fucking, what is it called, like Sleepy Hollow with Christopher Walken, right, playing the Headless Horseman. It's like, how did you find your head? I was just walking, he says, like walking, but W-A-L-K-E-N, like, I was just walking. So this is okay if they lost life this turn, but how does that work? Like, how would can I play it after I do this? I typically don't do it, things like that, but now they'll have to discard a card, or you choose a non-land card from it. If they lost life this turn, reveal their hand, choose a non-land card. And of course, this is one that I got in the... Okay, dude. That's one thing, at least, even as blue, I did. This reminds me of the fucking thing from, what was that movie? Where the owls are like aliens looking at you. It didn't really go anywhere, though. It was some, like, alien expose type thing, but it doesn't actually tell you shit. Okay, until the end of next turn, you can play those cards. Let's just do that. I mean, I can see why it's mythic based on the value of those effects, but I don't care if he keeps hitting me with these, although maybe I should. I mean, I'll trade in, I guess. Or wait, that's going to give you something, though, still. Or another non-tokens, for fuck's sake. Or I shouldn't have maybe given up the flying thing. Okay, the point is this guy's deck isn't that good, but neither is mine, and I'm getting cucked a little bit too much on lands, but the fact that that happens so often is not just incidental, like, oh, I got unlucky. It's actually a function and the feature of the deck. Right, that's just how the deck works. So we have this little thing for Convoke over here, or this would be deal 4 damage to target player or planeswalker, which is not at all what I want. When it enters, each opponent discards a card. 6 mana, 5/5. Convoke, flying, haste. I'm just getting low on health, basically. And you may as well just do everything you can. And I'll even hit you in the stupid face with this, just for the fuck of it. You are getting a little low, but I'm not too happy about it. Fine. So yeah, we're kind of on pins and needles, even though their board isn't that threatening in terms of the value. It is still a little scary. We have only 4 lands, so some of the stuff we can't even play. We were just taking for granted that we could with the... I mean, they just fill it up way too fucking easily. That we can easily block, but I don't even want to. Okay, we should just block everything. I mean, I can afford to take a certain amount, so we're taking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we only really have to block one thing, and then I can maybe go full in face aggro mode, and you maybe will die, right? Because they don't have enough stuff to necessarily block with. It's gonna be close. Or if you could just do this, which I won't be able to, of course, then I could have done the 4 damage to your stupid ass face. Make them discard something. Discard, you gain 4 life. That would even hurt me because... or it would give them way too much shit to work with. Target opponent discards 2 cards. I'm just gonna die. Like, I'll hit you for 4, and then if you can block anything, I'm dead. Right, but I won't survive anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'll just make you discard stuff just to BM you. But no, this one didn't seem like what he was using was really all that... like, why does it matter then? Okay, so you would have lost 1 card then. Fuck it. So the flying would have worked actually pretty well. It's just... I don't know. This guy plays like a fucking bot, and it's just slow and annoying. 1 HP, incredible. We really have to sit through this when I know I'm gonna fucking lose. So I maybe could have played something slightly differently, but I think generally speaking it is... I should just do that to just die on my turn, and that's a matter-of-fact way to concede. Like Raphael against Yugi, the fucking second duel, where he chooses to do that, even though he was about to win. He technically beats him twice, he just chooses to do that. Alright, so do we at least do the daily quest? I guess not. So yeah, I could frame it like, oh, we play these until I lose a game, or lose a set. But it doesn't have to always be like that. So we've wasted a lot of mythic wildcards on shit that is not really good, but... I mean, not that it's not good, but it's not like the optimal top tier thing that you should do, but I don't really care. Nor would I even really know what that is. Okay, see you tomorrow.